Hi Sudhir, welcome to this interview or talk show or this discussion, whatever we may call it. Lovely to catch up with you today, this afternoon. And over the next 15-20 minutes, we would like to understand how you and organizations which you are working with have been instrumental in delivering, defining CX across for your customers.
Right. So, as I tell a lot of people within my circle of influence and my own organization specifically is one of the most important things that we sometimes in our daily rigmarole don't really look at is how important CX plays a role, and nobody better than us in our business to be shown as an example, because back in 2019 November, there was hardly anybody who not only knew about us, but they knew about us in a different name, so to speak. They would call us Mumbai Exchange and or Mumbai IX. And the customer experience was something that I would want to forget, to say the least, because of the fiber cards and all that would happen. So from there to becoming not only India number one, but also becoming Asia Pacific number one for 4 consecutive years amongst 29 countries and 153 exchanges that is monitored by a neutral body called as Peering DB, in itself is a testament that there is something right we did in terms of the customer experience. So we went ahead with the secret sauce that we opened up for everybody to know, because that's how this business works. If we are in an ecosystem and there are no competitors, there are only collaborators to make internet an easily accessible service. And coincidentally, we are celebrating the 30 years of formation of DE-CIX globally. We started off very small, and today we are across, 60 locations and 3,200 customers, 1,200 data centers, and a lot of other things. But one thing that, if at all, has been defining us as an organization here in India and the SAARC countries is the overall customer experience that we bring to the play, right from managing the entire customer life cycle, pre-sales, sales, post-sales, and the entire gamut. Uh, I mean, this would have been a great month for us to declare it, but maybe it will take some time. Just to give you a small flavor of how uh, we work without any vested interest, also to a large extent, is the fact that we've started something called as DE-CIX Academy. While the industry comes in, industry participants can come in and attend to the knowledge sharing that happens, which is the Indian version of the global DE-CIX Academy. And I'm proud to tell you that till now we've been able to have 750 attendance, more than 4,200 hours of actual training gone in. And that has brought in a lot of traction in the way this business today requires knowledge at the lowest level to the highest level. And we've seen a plethora of people come in. So a lot of things one can say, but this is the general crux that I wanted to bring in, that uh, the secret sauce for us in DE-CIX, specifically in India, has been defining way in which we've kept customer touch points. Even the smallest one, if I have to give you an example before I end this feedback, is how very, very soon, within the next 2-3 months of joining in, I remember I got an 24 by 7 customer uh, ability to reach out to us. So we have a cloud-based contact center where 24 by 7, even though we are a very small team, both in tech, in finance, and in sales, we were able to get the customer to pick up the phone and talk to us when it was needed. And starting from there to a lot of other interventions which we brought and which will come out over a period of time.
No, that's quite interesting to note because this industry has also evolved over the time. From simple point of connect, interconnect, some 20 years back to things what we are talking here is really a big technology evolution which has happened, and I have personally seen it happening in front of my my eyes. But in the last 2 years or 3 years, so when with the advent of AI, IoT, or basically newer technologies which are coming up.
Yeah.
And they are reshaping the requirements, right? They are reshaping the your customer's customer requirement, right? That, if I can say so, because that is where the whole pull lies. What kind of innovations are you expecting in this space, in helping deliver a more seamless, a more advanced service?
Yeah. So we've been harping on this point for a very long time now, wherein we say that the business of interconnect is not only internet exchange per se. And with due respect to the industry, we feel that that is what defines an organization like DE-CIX because of its unique ability to uh, deliver multi-services across a single access port, wherein the same port delivers you peering, which is very well known and powerfully exhibited in the way in which not only globally, but we've attained market leadership, thought leadership in the entire business out here. But also same access port gives you ability to look at cloud exchange. And in India, we have AWS, Azure, Google, and Oracle as four cloud service providers, which you can access from the smallest denomination, which is like a 50 meg to 10 gigs and above as well. Uh, that and then unique services like Microsoft Azure peering services, cloud router, data center interconnect, thereby becoming a one-stop shop catalyst, which not only works for the A end, which is typically the hyperscale market, the cloud services, and the data center providers, but also the B end, which is the consumer's consumer, as you rightly said, that
Right,
gets
right.
everything across a single platform. That having said that, if you see what's been happening around in India, and hence we were one of the first organizations which started talking about the digital triangle, as we call it, in the DE-CIX parlance, where we say that we are an accelerator that acts as a digital triangle wherein the heart, the hand, and the brain work together. Having one in itself is a great thing to have. If you have AI, very good. But the first demand that it will bring in from network perspective is the low latency network that you want to have, right? So one is AI. You have the 5G, which is one of the most important components that we see, which is driving, and IoT, what is more important today? Who would have even imagined? And when I go to international events specifically, I ask people that what do you think a dairy can do? And they can't imagine that one of our customers, who's one of the leading a dairy and sweet meat shop out here with a chain, uses IoT, 5G, Cloud Connect from us. And that is what is proof of the pudding. And hence, when you have somebody like DE-CIX bring in the ability to put everything together at a central place with the interconnection platform, where AI is being the brain, 5G being the hands, and IoT being the uh, uh, entire technology driver to the whole solution that we see specifically in manufacturing and distribution, agriculture, so on and so forth. And it also will require a lot of interventions from the government. In the recent past, I'm sure you would have heard about the India AI mission, which the government of India launched with a significant amount of investment to the range of about, I think, $1.25 billion. In Indian parlance, it is absolutely a great number to start off with. We see the Indian market from an AI perspective projection going up to about 17 billion US dollars by 2027. And that itself gives us a lot of headroom in terms of what we can serve as the underlayer on which dependency has been built up. And that's where the core value of having the right kind of infra availability that brings us into the play. While AI will itself create a lot of buzz in the market, but something that will be able to orchestrate not only AI, but also IoT and 5G into a certain platformic presence is where we see we contributing and serving the nation and the industry in a better manner.
No, definitely. I think that is where things are moving, and with hyperscalers really evolving over time, and I'm seeing this happening from what Microsoft Azure was few years back compared to what it is today. It's a big powerhouse, much bigger than the way it started some 10 years back. So in the whole process, one thing when you are looking at the interconnect, service delivery becomes a very important factor, especially when you're connecting with critical requirements of your customer and their customer, right? Service delivery, especially when you are connected, because every service, whether you talk about an agriculture service, backend, it's or manufacturing IoT's requirement, everything at the backend is going to connect through the hyperscaler. In such a scenario, service disruptions and service delivery is a very, very critical phenomenon. How do you manage that piece, and how do you ensure that what is to be done to ensure a better service quality, maybe a low latency service for a financial sector, for example? How do you ensure all that stuff?
Yeah. So very, very valid question. And couldn't have been a better time for that question to have come to us, because probably a week back we have submitted a request, uh, a reply to a request that is coming from India's one of the largest banking and financial organizations for a multiple of 10 gigs of Oracle Fast Connect in Bombay, at two at one particular data center and two at the far end of Bombay in a data center. So low latency, cloud connect, these things have now become business as usual, which was luxury once upon a time. And in order to ensure that we are there before and ahead of time, uh, we did this piece long back when COVID struck. During COVID times is when we launched our cloud exchange with a great amount of difficulty. Those days were very, very trying for people like us, where customer demand was going through the roof. The telcos were not able to give immediate upgrades, anywhere between 12 to 16 weeks, and then the uh, dependability of interconnection platforms like us became more important. At the same time, what we've seen is service delivery, service assurance happens to be one of the most important factors. We were the first organization in India to build a 400G network in India. At 60% capacity, we already upgraded it to 800G network. We are the only organization that does that. And the proof of the pudding is in eating it. While I come from a certain organization and I might tom about how good I am, and somebody else will come and talk about their own organizations. What is more important is to see empirical data that is available today for you from the time COVID struck till today. Uh, Not wanting to take company numbers in picture, there were three major instances that happened in Maharashtra. The first was a so-called X country having hacked into your power network, and during Diwali, the entire uh, city of Bombay for sure, and a lot of other regions around Maharashtra were down. DE-CIX was up and running. Then there was a storm that came in called Totake, where we were up and running throughout. And recently there was a major digging trenching that happened by the corporation right outside the hub of in Andheri. And we were the only guys who were up and running from an exchange point of view, from an interconnection point of view. And that is where the true definition of being a flag bearer and being not only the market leader, but also thought leader in being able to compromise sometimes on business, because you don't cut corners, your cost to serve the customer is higher, your price pressures in the market are going to be always higher. But at any given point of time, we do not let go of the ethos that we are here to serve the customer 24/7, 365. And to take that same logic and rationale ahead, now the entire network is managed by my chief technology officer and his team out here, but also the provisioning, which is very important in a country like India, where we want everything as of yesterday, even if we are a corporate and we will take time to decide. But once my decision is made, uh, I want it as of yesterday. So
Right.
we all learn through experiences. And now the cloud provisioning that was there as a console of the cloud available at Germany currently is now also with the Indian team. So you can say 365 made in India, made for India is the kind of service delivery service that we do.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, my last question will be around, now when you look ahead, what are the growth priorities for you in this industry, and how do you see it evolving in the next couple of years?
See, I feel we've just scratched the surface in terms of the network business, so to speak. While a lot of people are talking about, and with full respect to whatever is happening around us, what is more important is how am I looking at the country as a whole. So there are two countries that you have. One is Bharat and one is India. So India is being greatly connected, but the Bharat, where 70% of it stays, is where a lot of edge will come up. A lot of other businesses are springing up. Your unicorns are now coming out of non-metro areas. The ability to make this seamless service available here and now, one, and also to be able to serve the Indian enterprises from India to rest of the world. So keeping both these things in mind, we've not only started collaborating with a lot of organizations which have ambitions of creating 100 edge pops across India, and we were the first one to make an announcement about 1.5 years back, and there is a POC with that organization, which is going on pretty well. But you also look at the fact that India to rest of the world is also equally important today, when a lot of global giants want to integrate their services here and want to come and set shop here. And that's where we've brought in two large partnerships in the recent past. One is Etisalat, which is E-and as it is known in this new avatar, which gives
Right.
Gulf to India and India to Gulf connectivity, which is primarily been the domain of a couple of telcos out here, and both of them have worked for, apart from a couple of them. Also, very important is the GCX partnership that brings in the ability of an organization that has four submarine cables under their ownership, and India to rest of the world and vice versa is also then
Right.
a real life story that we see. So not only are we looking at the India part of it, where we go into the hinterlands and ensure that more and more of that area gets connected by our interventions with the right kind of partnerships that we do. Very soon you will see some announcement coming in on that front. Sorry, on that front. Uh, on the international front also, we are equally working where we are in a position to ensure that we don't let that go, and both the engines have to fire at the same time.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much. I completely agree. I think both India to the world and India hinterland is the story, because that's where the growth is going to come from. Thank you so much, Sudhir, for your time
Thank
and
you.
your insights into the interconnect world, especially around DKIX and what you guys are doing. It was a pleasure speaking to you.
Likewise. Pleasure is all mine. Thank you very much. Have a great week ahead.
Thank you.